In yesterday's video, we talked about Erika Kirk's leaked message out to Candace Owens and what she really thought of Candace. And we kind of went over the details of that, but I didn't really get too much in depth in the message. I wanted to wait and see what Candace, how she responded and what she thought about that first before I said anything. Well, Candace did respond on her podcast and her on her video show yesterday. And I want to break this down. I want to go into some of the details about how Candace responded, what she said. And first, I want to say this message that everyone is talking about that supposedly leaked out about how Erika hates Candace Owens and so forth. I want to tell you that I know a lot of people are thinking in their mind, well, this has been leaked without Erika's knowledge. She didn't know that this was going to get leaked out. I want to challenge that. I want to say that she probably did want it leaked out. And the fact that Candace reached out to TPUSA and gave them a chance to respond, and they didn't respond, that tells me that they did probably want this to get out, that this is the message because it kind of fits with the whole thing that's coming out of TPUSA lately, where they are aggressively, like they're not on the defense anymore. They're going on the offense. And they've been attacking people for a while, but they've been kind of reacting instead of being proactive in the message. And I think that something got out. And so this was their way, this leaked message, quote unquote, I believe was on purpose. And I think it was to create this drama. But let's just get into some of Candace's reactions. I'm going to go and clip by clip here, and we'll kind of talk about each one and talk about Candace's reaction.
So after 10 months of the Christian grift, the Ali Stuckies, the Dana Lashes, the Honor the Widow presentations, Erika is apparently done playing the role. And I have told you since earlier this year that she's the one directing the show from behind the scenes. She's nasty behind the scenes. She calls people's priests. That's extraordinary. That's just something you should know.
So she's basically saying that now the message has changed. And it for the longest time, it's been this Christian grift, and it's been, I'm the poor widow, and I'm going to be an instrument of the Lord and of God and things like that. And now something has changed. So I want to just kind of go over this a little bit more. We'll look at a few more things that she said. We read this yesterday, so I'm sure everyone's familiar with it now. But if Erika wants to be known now as an instrument of God, I know she's been saying this for quite a while now, but she wants to paint the picture that she is an instrument of God, that somehow she's so pure that she's doing the will of God. And I'll let you listen to it firsthand, and then we'll talk about it.
Hate is very powerful from the standpoint of it's all consuming. It will deteriorate. It will tear you apart. I know they say it's like drinking a poison. It impacts you more than the other person. And if I had any ounce of hate in my heart, the Lord would not be able to use me.
So she wants the Lord to use her as an instrument. And here's another one where she's saying basically the same thing, but I'll play it.
Be able to say, Lord, give me grace today. I don't know how you're going to use it, but I know you'll use it for your glory. I'm here. Use me. Shine the light of where I'm supposed to go. And please, every single day, give me grace. Heal me, Lord. And it's just a repetitive thing.
Yeah, it's a repetitive thing. All right. It's a repetitive narrative that they're trying to push, that we're supposed to think that this person right here is an instrument of God somehow. And nothing about her is consistent and nothing makes sense. So I'm sorry if I don't believe, but I don't think many people do. I think that this is a long grift that's been going on a long time. The same thing that Candace has said. It's been going on a long time. And she's probably used to getting her way. And behind the scenes, she's been very manipulative. And now I think her true colors are starting to show. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more, but just to give you a little more background, I'm going to go, and in case you haven't heard, This person here, I believe his name is Matt. I'm not sure, but he is the longtime photographer and videographer for Charlie Kirk. I think 12 years, a very long time. He knows Charlie very well. And he's, from what I've heard, I heard him on a podcast. He was saying that he was nervous or scared to come out, and that he just recently has, because he feels like it's time for him to speak up and get beyond his fears. And he is speaking up. Now, I'll let you listen to this a little bit, and then I'll kind of explain it a little more.
Truth would expose who she really is.
Yeah.
And I know parts of that I haven't made public yet. I will be at some point. But again, like, there's a lot that people don't know. There's a reason that they're working to keep it private, and it exposes a greater evil. I think that many are either afraid to call out publicly, or they're just unaware of. In both cases, enough is enough, and it's time to start. It's time to start shouting from the rooftops for.
Okay, shouting from the rooftops about his Christianity, I think he says. Anyway, this is kind of all leading up to some of the responses that I've clipped out here for you to listen to. Candace was very strong in her response, as she should be, and I'm going to play this one for you.
Reads, quote, "That bridge is burned between Erika and Candace. It's more than burned, it's been blown up. There's no reason for Erika to ever speak to Candace again, ever," the family member said. Candace decided to make this her identity. It's a grab for attention, building her name and her brand and making some money off of it. That's what Erika thinks. Oh, brand being built? No, Erika, I had a name and I had a brand before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. In fact, me and your husband built our names and our brands alongside each other and apart from each other. The world didn't know your name until he died. You attempted to build your brand thereafter, and you made an incalculable amount of money in the process. Do we all need a refresher on the things that she was willing to sell? The photos, the bloody mic in front of donors, the taken in front of it, the bloodied tent, people taking selfies under it. It took just 3 weeks after Charlie's assassination for Erika to file for 3 trademarks, granting her the right to his name on t-shirts, tote bags, any and all clothing. 3 trademarks. And those freedom shirts, which were sold immediately, remember, everyone wanted a freedom shirt. They were actually very costly. Those were not sold through the charitable arm. Okay, former employees have confirmed to me that those profits went straight to Charlie Kirk Show, LLC. So that's for her personal profit. Once upon a time, Charlie told me Andrew Colbert owned a piece of that company too. Andrew Colbert's personal profit for Charlie. And of course, it wasn't for Charlie. So as a refresher, I already had a name. I already had a brand. I was already being sued by the president of France. I think I was actually known globally. What did I sell when Charlie died? How many trademarks did I file? It is wild to me, okay, that this article goes on and states, quote, "Erika is really offended that Candace would use her husband's death to make a buck, to get attention, to get clout, whatever it is. She's offended." That's her focus, guys. Once again, all Erika cares about is money and brand and merchandise. That's what she's angry about. It's such an unbelievable thing for her to share, for someone to say that. She's upset. She thinks Candace is making money. She doesn't have enough of it, apparently. They can't make enough of the money off of Charlie's death. So what she's concerned with is whether or not I'm making any additional money while I try to figure out who killed her husband. So let me make this perfectly clear again. Erika, please listen to me. When Charlie died, we had already signed all of our advertising agreements through not just at the end of last year, 2025, but through to Q1 of this year. So what that means, because I don't really think you're well-versed in business, is that not a single additional advertiser was brought onto this platform and no existing advertisers had their rates raised, okay? We didn't make money in advertising. We sold 0 products. You remember all of the influencers, they raced to put his name, his face on cups, on t-shirts. We're going to share proceeds with Erika. We're going to do this. We all want to fight Charlie, blah, blah, blah. The same influencers who are now selling you the Fed slop about how he died, we didn't engage any of that. No, we were actually grieving. To the stark contrary, we sold nothing with Charlie's face. No memorabilia. Not a single item was sold by us in the aftermath of his death. Everyone racing to commemorate him by making money for themselves.
Okay, so that's pretty clear. And just to kind of sum up this part of it, she does point out a few more things in there about case closed. You know, she talks about that a little bit, where Benny Johnson, Jack Posobiec came out, case closed. Oh, we've seen everything we need to see. And, you know, she talks a little bit about that. And then she kind of goes into the ending of it, which, you know, when she's talking about Erika being political and that her political enemies. Let's play that.
It continues, quote, Erika says she's not going to give that woman an ounce of her energy. Kind of looks like I'm getting a lot of it right now. But sometimes she just can't help herself and she'll just sort of explode with a tirade. She hates her, Candace, more than she hates her political opponents. Who are your political opponents, Erika? Who are your political opponents? Who are you? Who are you? You're some beauty pageant wife who took over the reins of Charlie's company, telling us a story that he wanted it in the end, but just couldn't put it in documents. Who are you to think that you have political opponents? It continues, at least with them, she knew where she stood. They didn't exactly betray her like Candace did. Candace did her so dirty. I think at this point, Erika likes even Tyler Robinson more than she likes Candace.
So there's a lot going on there. And obviously the Christian way has been thrown out the window. There's nothing Christian about this. This is Erika in fury. And again, I think they wanted to leak this. I don't think this was any insider that was going rogue and reporting things to people that she shouldn't have been. I think this was meant to be leaked out, and this was an attack, a direct attack on Candace. Now, she also says in yesterday's video, she said that it's a very dangerous place that we're going. She's noticed a theme, a coordinated effort by several different podcasters and mediums that are putting out the notion that, and they're somehow comparing the Tyler Robinson asking questions about this case, comparing that to the Sandy Hook case and what happened with Alex Jones. Alex Jones got sued and he lost, I guess over $1 billion he was sued for, and he lost. And it was over his coverage of the Sandy Hook situation. Now, they're comparing that to this because, and it's the people at TPUSA and their advocates that are putting this out. They're the ones that are saying that if you ask questions about this Tyler Robinson investigation or trial, that somehow we're to be compared with the Sandy Hook incident in Alex Jones. And basically that's a warning saying that if you don't stop asking questions, you could get sued for $1 billion. That's what that is. That's a very transparent, see-through attack on people that are asking questions. That's exactly what it is. I would say I can understand why people at TPUSA and their supporters could easily go with the wind. They can see where it's a big problem. When it happened to Alex Jones, I'm guessing that they were speaking out against it. I know Charlie was, but now when they can use it as a weapon, they are easily persuaded to do so if somebody counseled them or if they just thought it up on their own. I don't know. But we can listen to Charlie in his own words. And I got this off of John Galt, who tweeted this out on Twitter. I'll just read a part of it. It says, while you attempt to prime the public for the complete takedown of Candace Owens, one of Charlie's dear friends and single solitary friend he had, who is prepared to put her own neck out on the chopping block in an attempt to bring his murderers to justice, using the exact same playbook used on Alex Jones to force his compliance. I ask you to stop for a moment, to listen to Charlie's own words and search within yourselves for guidance. So, and then he says, I want you to watch this and try to remember what Charlie stood for, what he built, and why. Let's watch.
Alex Jones was patient zero for the censorship regime back in 2018. And now Alex Jones is patient zero for lawfare strategies to be able to shut people up that they don't like. Is Alex Jones outlandish? Of course he is. He's a quasi-entertainer. That's one of the reasons why he's so popular. But Alex Jones has been right about a lot of things. And so people say, well, don't talk about it, stay away from it. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson what happens when I stay quiet and I listen to these people. I'm not going to put up with another bad precedent being set because I'm told that I should hate Alex Jones. He's outlandish. He's wild. He's entertaining. I don't agree with him on everything. They're doing this to be able to show it's a spectacle. And some people say, look, Charlie, this isn't about the regime doing a spectacle. It's about the families of murdered kids. I think it's not right what Alex Jones said and what he did. He agrees with that. Should you be able to shut somebody up because of it?
Okay, we can learn a lot from those words from Charlie himself, saying that we should stand up for our free speech, that we should be able to ask questions and state opinions on certain situations, especially when they don't look right. But yet it's his own organization that is coming out and making these comparisons and people around them. Do they not see the hypocrisy, or do they just not care? Honestly, I know they change their mind and their opinions depending on who's paying the most, it seems like to me. But really, it's that obvious? It's that obvious to us that you're just flittering around in the wind and going with whoever is the most popular of the day, or whoever offers you the most money, or whatever suits your purpose. That just doesn't seem right. That doesn't sound like someone that's principled, and it doesn't sound like somebody that lives by a set of rules, guidelines, such as Christianity or whatever it is that you live by. It just doesn't sound like it to me. It sounds like you're grifting, and it sounds like you are just not really convinced of anything, that you're just doing things that are in your best interest, no matter what the cost. So I don't appreciate any of that. I don't think that that's right. I think Candace is spot on. And I'm glad that she responded the way that she did. She also made some comments that I think are important. She was saying that it's important to speak up while we still can, speak up while it's still legal, because there could be something coming down the pike that maybe it's not going to be legal soon. So I think speak up while it's legal is a very good thing to keep in mind. And I think we should be telling ourselves that. So I encourage everyone to speak up when they can and state their opinion. That's what this is for me. And I hope that you enjoy this, and I hope that you get something out of these videos. Please like and subscribe if you do. I look forward to getting with you guys again. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Thank you very much. Have a good one.